All right, so now we're into division. So nothing different here except for the fact that we have to remember what we do with when we divide. And remember, we keep the first one the same, change the sign, and then we flip the last one. All right, so what do we have to do when we do these? We have to get them to improper fractions. So we'll take 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is going to be 14 over 3. Now the sign is negative. Now that doesn't come into play when you're multiplying and adding and subtracting like that. You just take 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2, and that's all you do. So 12 plus 2 is 14, and then you put that negative out in front, okay? And then we're going to change that to multiply. Oops. We're going to change that to multiply. So we got our fraction improper. So we keep it the same. So we're just going to say keep it the same. Now we changed to multiply. Now 4, if you think about that, that's really 4 over 1. So now if we flip that over or take the reciprocal, that's going to be 1 over 4. Okay. And so now can we reduce anything? Yeah, it looks like I can take a 2 out of here, and I can take a 2 out of here and have a negative 7 left. So now what does that give me? Well, that gives me a negative 7 times 1 is a negative 7, and 3 times 2 is 6. And again, if they want the improper fraction, we're done. But if they want us to divide it out, then we have to do this. And again, we know our answer is negative, so we'll go ahead and write that negative. So 6 goes into 7 once. That's 6. Subtract, we have 1. That's our remainder. So we have 1 and 1/6. And that then is our solution. Okay. All right, so this one we actually have to do both of them to improper, and then after that we can change and flip. Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So we have a negative 5 over 2. And then we're going to still say divide by, because we don't know what this is to know how to flip it yet. 9 times 2 is 18, 1920 over 9, and then it's a negative, so we have that. Okay. Now we have a couple things we can do. Well, we probably at first we could have said that a negative times negative is positive, or negative divided by negative is positive, but now we can do it here. We know it's positive. And so let's go ahead and do that. And now what we can do is we can do the flip. We can take 5 halves and then times the reciprocal of this, 9 over 20. Okay. Now we have what we can reduce. Well, 5 will go in here once, 5 will go in here 4 times, and now we're done. So we take 1 times 9, and we get 9. 2 times 4 is 8. So if they ask for the improper fraction, we're done, 9/8. But if they say go ahead and put it into the mixed fraction, then we do a little bit more work. So we take 8 goes into 9 once, that's 8. We subtract, that's 1. That's our remainder. So our answer is going to be 1 and 1/8. Okay. So we start off with, kind of nasty looking numbers, and we end up with something simple like 1 and 1/8. All right, what about here? Well, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to change them to the improper fractions, and we're going to, after that, multiply instead of divide, and do the reciprocal of the next one. So let's go ahead and do the improper fractions first. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1, 13 over 2, divided by. Now we have 12 times 1 is 12, plus 7. That's going to be 19 over 12. Now we do like we've been saying, that's 13 over 2 times the reciprocal, which is 12 over 19. Looks like we have one thing we can reduce. 2 go in here once, 2 will go in here 6 times. And now we have a little bit of work to do. We have to take 13 times 6, so it's 18. And then 6 and 1 is 7, so that's going to be 78. And so we get 78 over 19. And again, if they want the improper fraction, we're done. If they don't, then we go one step further. And now we take, let's see, 19 times 5. I don't know. That's going to be 45. That's a 95. That's way too big. So 19 times maybe 3. That's 27. That's 57. Now if I have it times 4, maybe we'll get even closer. That's 36. And that's going to be a 7. Aha, we'll take it times 4. Okay, so that's 76. Subtract that. That's 2. That's our remainder. So our value then is going to be 4 and then 2/19. And so that would be our mixed fraction, whereas this was our improper fraction with the 78/19. All right, the next one, before we start, what are we going to do? Negative times the negative, or negative divided by negative, is going to be positive. So we can get rid of those right away instead of carrying them around like we did for a little while last time. So 6 times 3 is 18, 19, 20 over 3 divided by, now this is really 6 over 1. So we can say divided by 6 over 1. Now we can convert to multiply by the reciprocal. And can we reduce anything? Well, 2 will go in here 3 times, 2 will go in here 10 times. And so what does that give us? Well, in the numerator, 10 times 1 is 10. Denominator, 3 times 3 is 9. And we have our improper fraction. But again, they want us to go to the mixed fraction, I'm sure, so we'll do the next part. 9 goes into 10 one time. Subtract 10 minus 9 is 1. That's our remainder, so our answer is going to be 1 and 1/9. Okay, so that's going to be our value there. Oh, we'll stop here and then we'll come back with